It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare. I like to talk all things Sorare. I like to show you my journey in Sorare, even though the European season's almost ended. There's 3 games left, I think, of the Premier League. We're so close to the end. So Sorare's about to slow down a lot unless you're one of these people playing in non-European leagues, like playing, I don't know, in Korea or in MLS or these kind of leagues. I only really play in Mexico and England, so it's slowing down for me because the Mexican season is getting to the playoffs. So a lot of the teams, like my beloved Santos, are out of the games now, so they've got no games forever. So it's we're resting on Tigres a lot in Mexico, Tigres and Necaxa. Let's see how far they get in the playoffs. That'll keep Sorare interesting for a few more weeks for me. European leagues are still, we still have 3 or 4 weeks left of them. I think then the Club World Cup, is the Club World Cup covered in Sorare? I think that might be covered. So we may have some summer fun with the Club World Cup, where I think Chelsea are playing and Barcelona are there. So I could have a nice hybrid team if they play the right players and don't play B team players. Don't know how that's going to work, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. At the moment, Sorare is still here. There's still cash prizes to be won in season. There's still fun to be had. I'll show you my lineups from the weekend just gone, which wasn't as good as the weekend before that, where I won $50, but still won a few cards and some essence boxes. So I'll show you how I did. I'll also show you my lineups for the coming weekend, the last of the few remaining European in-season weeks for our cards before they disintegrate into classic cards. So we'll have a look at especially Premier League in season. Got some juicy looking fixtures this weekend, but first let's start by looking at my midweek, how I've been doing so far midweek, where we've got some European fixtures, and how I did last weekend in the wonderful, fun, exciting, juicy world of Sorare. Right, gang, here we go. Here's how we did in game week. Well, here's how we're doing in game week 77. I'm recording this on Thursday before Chelsea play. So as always, with midweek European games, there's usually an possible glimmer of hope that Chelsea, if I can pick the right cards, will do well in the Conference League. And they did well for me last week, the week before last week. So the last midweek, I don't think I got to show you because we were in the same position. I was recording just before Chelsea play, and I'd organized my players into this lineup. So I knew Rafinha and Torres had done well. I knew Declan Rice had done well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play the goalkeeper and a defender, and we're going to get a really good score this week. We didn't because Chelsea conceded so annoyingly. They were 4-0 up, having a great game. Jorgensen and Cucurella having glorious games. Cucurella gets subbed. Jorgensen, and then both of them concede. So this is really annoying. If I'd have put Reece James in here, I think I would have worked out. I would have had a much better score. And if we hadn't conceded, this could have been a really good score. So in the end, I got like a tier 5 card, which I think was a 38-year-old goalkeeper who hasn't played in years in the Eredivisie, who I've traded out. I traded him. So that's how last week, and this current midweek has gone similarly annoyingly because I had two, basically these are 2 lineups I had. I had Rafinha and Ferran Torres in one of them, and I had Declan Rice in the other. So I was kind of going to see whoever does well. I'll put the Chelsea players that start today, again in the Conference League, I'll put them with either the Barcelona boys or Declan Rice. It won't be with Declan Rice because he got a 30 in the end. And Rafinha scored, and he's captained in this lineup. So this lineup will be the one to go for. So we'll put these 3 Chelsea cards. We'll put Reece James in this time because Reece James didn't play in the league, which makes me think maybe he's going to play this game. Jorgensen will play in goal, and I don't think it will be Enzo, but I'll change this when I know the lineups are out, and I'll swap Enzo Fernandez for probably Dewsbury Hall because I don't think Enzo will be risked, especially with Chelsea having Newcastle at the weekend, a big game for Champions League qualification. I think they're going to want to rest Palmer, Jackson. But we have seen in the Conference League, Chelsea sometimes play Palmer and Jackson for like the first half and then sub them at half time. So if that's the case, it may even be worth playing one of the big boys if they start, even if it's for 45 minutes. It's at Stamford Bridge. It's against their easy-ish opponent. They won 4-1 in the away leg, so let's see how they do. But yeah, this is how we currently stand midweek. There's also a glimmer of hope for this lineup because Olmo and Garcia did well for Barcelona. So we're going to put Brennan Johnson, who again was rested at the weekend, should play for Spurs at Europe, and Jadon Sancho. Again, if Sancho doesn't play for Chelsea, I'll swap him for like Nkunku or someone that does start. But this lineup, even though it will have a DMP goalkeeper, because these two did so well, and it's in season where the competition is less, we might still scrape something if Brennan Johnson does well, basically. So that's midweek. Let's take a look at last weekend in Sorare, where we didn't do any of the special competitions because all of the special competitions were kind of the Asia competition promotion that Sorare are doing with the jerseys and the limited edition cards. We don't have any of those cards. That's not a region of the world I have any cards in, so I didn't do any of the specials last week. So it was straight to Premier League in season. This is kind of why I had a bit of a quiet weekend, didn't win that much, was because my Premier League in season is my best chance of winning cash, and my top two lineups played each other, Palace and Forest. So I'm watching this game thinking I either want Palace to smash Forest or Palace to smash, or the other way around, Forest to smash Palace, not a 1-1 draw. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I want a 3-0 win to either team, not a 1-1 draw. What happened? Say it with me, 1-1 draw. So both lineups in the toilet. Eze did well to score, but everyone else did bad. Nico Williams. What a card Nico Williams has been for me this year. I bought him for like £2 at the beginning of the season, or like 1 month into the season, when prices were still high, and he'd only just become first team left back. I think they were playing maybe Toffolo, or they were playing someone else at left back, or he was injured. And then he came into the team and he's just been glorious. I had bought Milenkovic at the same time, and I thought Milenkovic was the one I paid more for. I thought Milenkovic was going to be my go-to Forest defender all season. Turns out it's been Nico Williams. So once again, he gave a good score, but no one else did. So if only I'd have put him with Eze and Mateta swapped with, I don't know, another striker. But yeah, so both my Premier League top lineups didn't do well. My third Premier League lineup, again, if I'd have put Dwight McNeil in here, Williams there. Oh, hindsight is a wonderful thing, eh? So Everton did not that great, but Dwight McNeil scored, and then these two Everton cards didn't deliver. Decore didn't even start, so he's not in my lineups anymore. Let's hope he leaves, eh? Because I think he's a good player, Decore. Just probably not. If Everton want to improve, like I'm thinking with the new owners, new stadium, got some momentum, not going to get relegated, I think Decore might not be at their level, but I do really like Decore. I think he's an amazing Premier League still quality player. I just think Everton are going to probably try and become a bit more, and I'm using quotes here, they're going to become maybe fashionable, try and get a few more trendy players, and Decore maybe doesn't fit that mold, especially where he plays as the number 10. They probably want someone a bit more, I don't know, like Isco, or I don't know, someone like that. Someone like Isco. And Decore is kind of not quite that player, so he's not even playing for Everton at the moment. So that's ruined that lineup. In Classic, we did quite well in Premier League Classic at the weekend. We didn't win much, and we won a tier 3 card. So yeah, this lineup did okay. Bowen scored, Shah did well, but then these guys didn't really hit the ground running. So we're 2 points off a reward. But back in the Chelsea boys, didn't I say last week? Didn't Amreezy tell you? Didn't Papa Amreezy sit you down last week and say Chelsea are going to beat Liverpool because they've won the last 2 games? Liverpool are going to be hungover from winning the league. Chelsea got something to play for, and Chelsea did play really well. And as a Chelsea fan, it's really exciting to see. And we need this form with 3 games to go. Newcastle, Man United, Nottingham Forest. 2 of those games are just huge Champions League 6-pointers. The other one, hopefully, against the Manchester United team that are focusing on Europe and won't take it so seriously. Come on, Chelsea. Qualify for Champions League. But they did well. Palmer scoring, Enzo Fernandez scoring. Shane Jackson didn't do well. We probably could have got a better score if Chelsea had a clinical striker. Jackson was offside, like literally about 5 or 6 times. He had a goal disallowed because he was offside. He ran through on goal, took the goalkeeper on. The goalkeeper, Allison, brought him down, would have got a red card and maybe, I think, a penalty, but Jackson was offside. I think 2 goals they could have scored offside, and there may have been someone else where they could have scored, but Jackson, yeah, he was offside a lot, basically. That's my point. So, yeah, if Chelsea had a proper striker, not a proper striker, but a more ruthless striker, this could have been a more fun lineup, and I could have had that striker to play. But as it stands, Jackson is that guy. So we just have to hope in the last 3 games we keep playing this lineup and Jackson starts scoring, because Palmer and Enzo are doing their bits. This lineup, Rice did okay. The West Ham boys all let me down. Once again, it's becoming a catchphrase on the channel. The West Ham boys let me down. 200 essence in common here. And some nice rare card XP building there. La Liga in season let me down because Ferran Torres didn't play. We were like, okay, Lewandowski's injured. There's no way Ferran Torres is not going to play. Rafinha will be rested because he was playing in the Champions League. And Rafinha was rested but came on and scored. So if we'd have put Rafinha in here like we always do, that's why this lineup's called Raf and Friends, we would have done okay. We would have had a captain who scored. These guys did well, and these guys probably did okay enough to scrape a tier 4 card maybe. But we went for Torres and we were punished. Deportivo Alaves, I did say they're going to get a good result against Atletico Madrid. I was quietly confident about my Deportivo Alaves boys. I played 4 of them here. They kept a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid, who have completely... They're on the beach now. Atletico Madrid are on the beach. Unfortunately, Danny Rabba didn't do the business, though, and Vicente didn't do the business. Vicente has been doing so well in the last couple of weeks. This is literally his first bad score in 4 weeks, so that was annoying. But we won 500 XP, so we're not leaving empty-handed. And then we won for another 500 XP from our DMP goalkeeper La Liga in-season lineup because Rafinha decided to come on and score, so that was nice. Then we had some Bundesliga, warm-up Common League, MLS warm-ups. Then we go to Champion in-season, where our Monaco boys won 5 essence for us, but concerningly, worryingly, shockingly, Biereth went off injured. Now, he's 50-50 to play this weekend, like he has been for a few weeks. I feel like he's carrying a knock, and they're probably just waiting for the end of the season for him to recover. So we're going to have to play him again this weekend because he's not definitely ruled out, I don't think. So we're going to have to play him like we did this week, and he'll probably do the same. Have a quiet game and then get subbed off. But the rest of the boys did okay. Singos did well. Akliush and Zakaria had good games in midfield. We finally nailed the midfield, but we should have gone for Chayo Henrique in defense because he got an assist and a 100 score. So we had him in the wrong lineup. He should have been there. And we always were going to captain Biereth, so we can't really analyze that decision so much. But yeah, that's how Monaco did. Then we had this lineup where we won 500 XP because of this assist from Henrique. Beto scored for Everton. He's the guy I should have played instead of Decore in my other lineup. And then these guys got pretty lame scores. Another Premier League sort of reject team that didn't fit, so that went into this lineup here. Didn't win anything. Challenger is just a wasteland these days. Contender in season was also a wasteland because the Mexican teams weren't playing yet. Mexican playoffs are going to be the playoff part of the season. The next stage of the Mexican season is starting this weekend. So we know who's in the playoffs now. Come on, Tigres. Come on, Necaxa. Well, they're playing each other, so probably come on, Tigres. Under 23s, we didn't win anything in the under 23s. And then All-Star, we won 1 box from All-Star. A nice All-Star lineup here with everybody but the goalkeeper giving a good score. Soleil's slamming it for Udinese. Pereira's come back in the Norwegian division. He's having fun. Neto's been doing well for Chelsea. Zakaria at Monaco, and then Bilal, our contender goalkeeper, let us down. Challenger goalkeeper let us down. But we won a box, so that's not bad. And I think that is all we have to report from last weekend. In terms of new cards that I've been acquiring, I have won 2 cards since last week. The one I told you about from the Chelsea's last European game. I won a Dutch goalkeeper, 38 years old, gonna retire. Nobody wanted to buy him. I managed to trade him out for a rare card. I'll show you that in a minute. And then in the weekend league where I got a tier 3 card, can't remember what competition that was, but I won a tier 3 card. I won Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forrest, who I already have. I already have Elliot Anderson. So I sold him because Nottingham Forest have got a great fixture this weekend. There's people that want to buy Nottingham Forest cards. So I sold him for like £1.80, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with selling him because I already have one of his cards. Didn't really want 2. So I sold my Elliot Anderson. I traded my goalkeeper for a rare card and I bought Pepelu. Did I buy him or traded? I think I traded him. I'm not buying any cards at the moment. I'm just trading cards. I traded for Pepelu because he's been injured for a while or coming off the bench for a while. But I really like him as a player. I've watched quite a bit of La Liga this season because of my Barcelona and Alaves collections. And whenever I've seen Valencia play, I've always been quite impressed with Pepelu. I think he's a good player. He's still 25. And I traded him for 2 cards that I really didn't want. Janelt, a substitute player for Brentford, and this 30-odd-year-old striker who plays in the German league who's always on the bench. So both of these cards I would have accepted 20p for. And Pepelu was worth 40p. So I thought that's a good deal. So I traded a Pepelu, got rid of some cards I didn't want. And also Pepelu has just come back from Valencia. He started the last game and did really well. I read a little report before I got this card. How did he do in the last game? I read a scout report. He did really well. Got in the starting 11 again. And prospects are looking good for him. So I thought it was good to snap up a card for probably Classic next year. Maybe he moves. Maybe he gets a better move. Who knows? But for trading some cards I didn't want, I was happy to get him in. And the rare card that I got was this Sasa Lucic. So I had a Sasa Lucic card, but not the Fulham version. I had a Torino card of Sasa Lucic. So I basically traded that 38-year-old goalkeeper that I didn't want, who I won last week. So I traded. It was a bit of an odd trade, I guess. I basically traded my Sasa Lucic plus the 38-year-old goalkeeper for his Sasa Lucic from a Fulham collection that I've got 2 other cards from. So I thought it's worth me probably doing that, just getting rid of that goalkeeper and swapping out the Sasa Lucic card. I also like that his serial number is number 4, a nice low serial number. And they were this slightly higher level. I think my other one was level 3. I think this one is level 4. So I got a slightly higher level card. So I got him. I also have, I've been quietly acquiring. These are my rare cards that I've got. I'm just quietly picking up, just because I think it's better store of value in rare right now than limited. So I'm trying to do what I did with Lucic, try and swap a few limited cards. I think John McGinn, I might have got some limited cards for and a little bit of cash. So I just think, Konza, McGinn, if Villa have a really good season, get Champions League football, or don't have Champions League football and are really concentrating the Premier League next year, McGinn and Konza could be good cards. If Fulham have a good year, Lukic, Munzic, Bassi, these are good players. So I'm kind of all of these cards are good players. Who maybe they move. I feel like rare reminds me of what limited used to feel like when I first started Sorare, before in-season was a thing. So I'm, again, getting good players and hoping that they stay good or they move, and yeah, that's my strategy. So they're the new cards I bought since last week. Let's finish this week's video by looking at my lineups for the coming weekend in the juicy, exciting world of Sorare. Game week 78. Here we go. Once again, the special competitions are the arena, where you pay essence to win essence back. Not really worth it for me. Or these Asia competitions that, are, as I said before, are not for me. So once again, no special competitions. Straight into Premier League in season, where Nottingham Forrest have been in a dreadful run of form, but they're playing Leicester at home. This is fill your boots up time for Nottingham Forest. As a Chelsea fan, I hope Nottingham Forest lose. As a Sorare fan, I hope Nottingham Forest win. They'll probably draw now, but if they win, it could be happy days for Sorare. Division 1 in season. I'm going to be going for this lineup. I'm going to be backing, doubling the defense. This is how I won $50 2 weeks ago in season Premier League. I backed Wolves against Leicester, and I picked 2 Wolves defenders because Leicester, oops, whacking the microphone, getting excited. Leicester rarely score. Now, they did score last week, but that was against Southampton, the only other team worse than them. So I'm hoping Leicester go back to their we can't score mode, and we do what we did last week, win some cash, because we've got 2 defenders here. Gibbs White and Chris Wood could easily combine to score a couple of goals against Leicester and sell it in goal. So I'm feeling pretty good about this lineup. Nottingham Forest for the win this weekend, or if they lose, Chelsea get some nice Champions League prospects. So that's what I'm going for number 1. Number 2 will be Crystal Palace against Tottenham. Tottenham will be going hard in the European competition. They've got their second of tonight. After recording this video, they've got their second leg of the semi-final where they're winning. So they're going to probably want to keep playing the good team, qualify for the final. So hopefully they'll be tired for this game. Palace are going to be nice and rested. So we're going to be going for our 5 best Palace cards away, but it's against Tottenham. So I'm hoping Palace can smash them here. So both of these lineups could do well. In-season teams. Third team is I'm less confident about. Wolves are playing Brighton. Now, it's at home for Wolves. And Bellegarde's listed as a 10% chance. But everywhere else I look, they're saying Bellegarde is going to play. And this has happened to me before where I've listened too much to the Sorare prediction and not the other places. So I'm going to gamble that Bellegarde does start or comes off the bench and does well. And then I'm going to be going Cunha, Totti and Jose Sarr. So hopefully Wolves can surprise Brighton. And then Elliot Anderson, because we couldn't fit him in this lineup. And so Elliot Anderson's going to be here. Leicester at home. Come on, Elliot Anderson. Premier League Classic. Chelsea are playing Newcastle away. A really tricky fixture, but Chelsea have looked good. They've won their last 3 Premier League games. They're winning in Europe against easier opposition. So the team are being rotated for the Premier League. So hopefully the Chelsea boys can smash Newcastle. This is going to be a really good game. If you don't have any interest in Chelsea or Newcastle, this will be a fun game to watch on Sunday. Chelsea and Newcastle both need the win, battling for Champions League football. It'll be a really good game, and I'm going to make it even more tense for me by fully backing Chelsea in this lineup. Kepa in goal because I don't have Sanchez. This lineup's a bit of a mixed bag, but I think all of them have good fixtures. I've got the Newcastle defensive stack in case Chelsea fail massively. I might still be able to console myself with at least I back Newcastle's defense in this lineup. Then Bowen, Evan Nielsen and Kovacic, all because they've got okay fixtures. Bowen playing Manchester United, maybe Man United, like Spurs, are going to concentrate on Europe because they've got nothing to play for in the league, so West Ham maybe take advantage of that. Evan Nielsen playing Villa. Villa have kind of fallen off a little bit lately, so let's see what happens there. And Kovacic is playing Southampton. And then we've got a bit of a even more throwaway lineup here, but they've got good games. Neto and Caicedo, 2 more Chelsea boys. Robinson at home to Everton, not a bad fixture. Trent, anything could happen there. We know Trent's leaving now, so maybe he's going to really perform well in these last few games to say goodbye to the Liverpool fans. And maybe kind of got a bit of a point to prove because some Liverpool fans are having a go at him. Maybe he's going to have some fire in his belly. Arsenal might be a bit of a wounded animal after being knocked out of the Champions League against PSG midweek. So maybe Trent does well there. Then we've got some warm-up and common competitions, which are not worth talking about. La Liga, it's El Clasico. Barcelona v Real Madrid. And there's 2 ways Barcelona and Arsenal could go this weekend. They could either be wounded animals and really down, or they could be really up for it and determined to bounce back. And I just feel like Barcelona have more of a chance to bounce back than Arsenal because it's El Clasico. There's no bigger game in the league and they really want to win that league. They're out of the Champions League, but unlike Arsenal where they've got nothing to play for now, Barcelona are still top of the league, still have that league to play for. So I'm hoping Barcelona come to this El Clasico all guns blazing. Lewandowski came off the bench in the Champions League midweek game against Inter Milan. So I'm hoping that means he's now fit to play in El Clasico. So Rafinha, Lewandowski, Olmo, quite an exciting 3 if they play. If they don't play, I've not got Pedri, I've not got Lamal. So I've got to go for these 3 and just hope they play. And then I'm going to go for both my Leganés defenders because they've got a fairly nice game at home to Espanyol. It's not a bad fixture for Leganes, so Dimitrovic and Gonzalez are going to play there. Once again, we're back in the Alaves boys because we've got problems. So 3 Alaves cards here with 2 Chelsea boys. Marcus Alonso and Conor Gallagher. They're giving him a 40% chance of playing. But again, I've looked elsewhere and they've said Conor Gallagher will play. Julian Alvarez is suspended for this game, so they're already missing one of their main guys. So I'm hoping Conor Gallagher gets the game because it's a nice fixture at home against Sociedad. And Marcus Alonso has a nice fixture at home to Sevilla. So I'm going to captain Marcus Alonso. I just like seeing the Chelsea boys back together and my Alaves boys with them. And then this is just a bunch of fun. DMP goalkeeper, Angel Correa, because I'm building his XP for next season when he moves to, hopefully, Tigres. So we're starting to build up the Angel Correa XP. But also, what's his name? Argentinian. Alvarez. He's suspended. So there's more of a chance Angel Correa gets minutes this week. He might not start because they've still got, I think, Sorloth who will start. But it means that Correa's moved up the pecking order. So he might get more minutes off the bench. Even if he doesn't, building XP for next season with a couple of Barcelona B team guys who maybe get a game and maybe get some points. Who knows? Then we've got some warm-up and commons. Bundesliga, warm-up and commons. MLS, warm-ups. Champion! Once again, we're playing Monaco Roulette Birath is... They're giving him a 90% chance of playing. I think it's a little less than 90%. I think he's like 70% chance of playing because he went off injured in the last game. He's been seen, I think, in training, so we should get a thing from him. Kamara is 70%, not sure why. He was suspended last game, so I'm thinking he should be fit to play with Zachariah this week. So I'm going to play him, Zachariah, Caio Henrique, who we didn't play last week. We played Singo. This week we've swapped them around. Singo's gone into this lineup and Caio Henrique's gone here. Why have you done that, Amreezy? Stop whacking the microphone. I'm getting so excited this week. Why have you done that, Amreezy? Because it's against Leon, and I think Leon are going to score. So Singo is probably better for games when I think he's going to win tackles and maybe keep clean sheet. If they're playing against a better attacking team like a Leon, then I think I should go for Caio Henrique, who's more of an attacking wing back, and Big Cone in goal. Second one is Ferran Torres, just in case Lewandowski isn't fit. Torres is appearing in this lineup. Or even if Lewandowski is fit, I'm guessing Lewandowski is not going to be able to make 90 minutes. So Torres should at least play 30 minutes in El Clasico. So he's in this lineup just in case it's a bad 30 minutes. With Danny Rabah, two more Monaco boys, Akliouche and Singo. And then Ramsdale in goal. Not expecting much here because they're playing Man City. XP building lineups, Challenger XP building, Contender in season is back because the Mexico season has resumed its playoff stage of the season. So we're going to... Tigres and Necaxa are playing each other. So Tigres is the one that I want to win. Tigres are my kind of secret Mexican... I support Tigres secretly, but my family all support Santos. So I kind of have to say I support Santos, but don't tell anyone. But because of Sorare, I've started supporting Tigres. So I'm going to be rooting for Tigres here. This is my Division 1 in season. Let's hope my 5 Tigres boys can deliver. Second one, I'll put Necaxa, who are playing Tigres. This defender is my best chance of playing, even though he's 20% chance. I've seen other places say he will play, and he played in the last game, I think, for them. So hopefully he plays. These two are really good options for Necaxa. And then Sancris isn't playing in Mexico, but he's got a nice fixture against the team who are 9th in the league. They're 12th, so a bit of a mid-table clash. He's been in good form, Sancris, so he's a better option as well than the Necaxa strikers, who are Cambindo, who's just come back from injury and been coming off the bench the last 2 games. And this guy, not this guy, Cambindo, and this guy, Rosero. So I've used those in the other 2 lineups. And Sancris I've got more of a better feeling about. So he's going in that in-season lineup. Third in-season contender lineup is a bit of a mixed bag. 1 Tigres guy, 2 Necaxa guys, Necaxa goalkeeper, and then Granada striker, Rebac, who's not done much. He's my Deportivo Alaves card, who went to Granada. But they've got a nice fixture this week. So I'm hoping, even though he's had a bit of a bad run, they're playing 15th in the table, and he's still starting all the games for them. So hopefully... easier fixture. Monday Night Football, he can do well. Then we've got a bit of a mixed bag here. Tigres, Piovi, Cruz Azul are playing Leon in their kind of playoff game. So hopefully he can do well. Yeah, it's knockout football in Mexico now. It's exciting. Under 23s, we've got a serious lineup in the under 23s this week. Obed in goal. Yanni Stukas hasn't done much for the last couple of weeks. So again, we're hoping Yanni can get back to scoring. Santiago Marino has been in a good run of form for Alaves. Madueke looked good for Chelsea in their last league game. Hoping he gets rested in Europe. If he gets rested, boom, Madueke stays in this lineup as captain for Newcastle game. And then Malik Fofana, I was talking about him last week. He started once again and did well. So playing against Monaco, I know how shaky Monaco's defense can be. So Fofana could get some joy against them. So he's going to be playing in that lineup. And then this one's just about building XP. And then some warm-up leagues and some all-star leagues where this one's a bit of an XP builder. But this all-star lineup is a bit more serious. Bilal in goal, Soleil in defense. That was the double-up team I used in last week's all-star lineup that won me a box. Lamina's got a nice game for Galatasaray. Declan Rice captaining him in the kind of off-chance Arsenal kind of... Maybe Liverpool are still in the same headspace that they are against Chelsea. Arsenal are fired up to prove themselves. Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's why it's in my throwaway all-star lineup. All-star lineups are basically training lineups. For anyone that remembers training lineups, that feels like years ago, all-star lineups are training lineups. So this one's a serious training lineup. This one's a joke lineup. That's me. That's me for the weekend, people. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you for playing Sorare, sticking with it, still playing those European seasons. Good luck with your game week 78. So we're almost at the pre-season scouting phase. So stick with it. Keep having fun. Good luck with your weeks. I'll see you next week. Peace.